All right, we are, it's a few more seconds, we'll be live. So I'll give you the thumbs up.
All right.
We are live, Madam Mayor.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Today, I would like to call to order the special board meeting via Zoom live stream on YouTube, Thursday, October 21st. The time is 5:35 p.m. Can you call the roll, Medina?
They're still trying to pinpoint why and how to fix it.
You gotta unmute your tablet.
Dixmoor's residents continue to wait.
Okay. 1 second.
Gosh, my mom and dad.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Trustee Belcher.
We can't hear you now, I don't think. Okay, hold on 1 second, everyone. Let me help her. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Ontario, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you fine. You're good.
Okay, so I'm gonna let her use mine so she can call the roll. So,
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Trustee Belcher. Not present, no answer. Trustee Brown. No answer, not present. Trustee Holmes.
Present.
Thank you, present. Trustee House. No answer, not present. Trustee Norwood. No answer, not present. Trustee Steve. No answer, not present. There is no quorum, Madam Mayor.
all right, thank you. Okay, so just moving forward, we don't have a quorum to host a special board meeting. So I will turn this into a town hall meeting and we will go over the reason for the meeting and why it's important that we should have taken care of the business at hand for the residents of Dolton. What's on the agenda? Before I start, I will do a prayer for Dolton and I'll do it for us. If you can't bow your heads for 1 minute. Lord, please shield Dolton from all the hatred, all the haters, all the issues that's going on within people that don't want to see Dolton grow. Please continue to protect myself, my family, all my loved ones, the residents of Dolton, and especially my department heads. I want to thank you for just giving me the vision to do your will, and I promise to see it through. I won't give up, I won't give in, and I will be strong and victorious in the end. So thank you, Lord, for just protecting me. Amen. Okay, so the reason for this meeting was to put the properties back on the tax roll. As you know, I've always advocated and always stated that we need to get control of our vacant properties here in town. As you know, we have over 400 vacancies. That includes vacant land, commercial, industrial, and also vacant homes. We have several vacant homes that's in need of major attention and repair. And I was urging my board of trustees to come and let's go after the vacant properties through the scavenger sale. The scavenger sale is being held now. It will be held, I think the date is in November. And I'm gonna let the attorney speak, but I just want to do this intro real quick. Today is the last day to actually put the properties up for the county for approval. So that's why we had a special board meeting, so we can vote on this, so we can go and do a one grab of properties. So now we have vacants that we will put back on the tax roll as it relates to getting tax dollars for our residents. I thought it was important that we passed the ordinance for the no cash bid, taking advantage of this small window of opportunity that the county is giving us and other municipalities to get vacant properties for free before the taxes are sold. That will put the vacant properties back on the tax roll and reduce taxes to our residents. The properties will go up for sale. If we don't take them, then someone will buy them and we won't know what they would do with them or if they would do anything with the property. Half the time people do buy these properties and then they still sit there in our communities and they become an eyesore. So what my goal was to take the blighted housing stock and put it back on the tax roll. So now the residents no longer had issues with living next door to a vacant property, which become a nuisance to many, creating sometimes squatters and also animals that lives in properties. And not only that, just the tear down of the vacant property. My goal and my plan as mayor is to move Dolton forward regardless of all the issues that we face in this issues with the town. I thought that it was imperative that we actually took a stance today and we show unity amongst each other instead of all this division that goes on. Everyone needs to understand we must do something now as it relates to our vacant property. Otherwise, it will continue to sit there. We will continue to get complaints and we continue to not receive tax revenue for those properties. I'm going to give the floor to our attorney so he can explain to you guys the process of how this would have worked if we would have went ahead and done it. If you are a tax buyer and you at the scavenger sale, you're purchasing any of the properties that's listed, basically what we can do, or what I could have done as mayor, is went in and said, we're going to do a no cash bid for that parcel. That parcel would have then came up under the village and we would have had a stock of inventory to sell to residents / investors in town to beautify Dolton. My goal is still to do so. I will not give up on trying to make sure we get our vacant properties back on the tax roll. So I want to give the floor to our attorney. Vallado, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight was the first step in the process to ask permission of the Cook County Commissioners to allow the Village of Dolton to acquire title to properties that were listed in the proposed ordinance. This is a process that starts with the village board adopting the ordinance. The ordinance included the addresses and PIN numbers for the properties that the village had an interest in acquiring. And then once this ordinance was passed, a certified copy was required to be submitted along with a cover letter to the commissioners by the deadline to have it ready for them to take action on. And once the commissioners, and then once that's done, then there's title search that would need to be done. There would also be an application for scavenger sale would need to be completed, along with some other information that would need to be submitted as part of this complete packet to the commissioners, and they would take action, approve the packet if they felt that was in the best interest of the community, and then allow the village to proceed at the scavenger sale. There's a statute. The process is laid out in Illinois tax code, and if the village was successful through this process, they would receive a tax deed for any of the properties that are listed. And on that list, there's 41 properties. There's vacant properties, vacant land. There's residential parcels, as well as commercial and industrial. And so there is, though, a restriction on occupied properties. So we would have to work that out as through this process. So that's just kind of a general overview. If you have specific question, I'll entertain them at this time, Mayor.
Okay. And then just for the record, we was only going after all vacant properties. So the properties that we do have here, we don't have any properties that had anybody in them. They're either A, boarded up, or B, got a tree growing in it, or a house of raccoons. And also for the commercial properties, they've been there over several years. So my goal was to basically shed some light onto those blighted areas throughout Dolton and start rebuilding. I thought it was smart to basically go that route because right now we're grabbing the low hanging fruit, which was through the scavenger sale. Any other time we would have to go out to each parcel separately and try to attain each property. But we will have a plan since this is not working out. And I just want the residents to understand and see that I am here as your mayor, as your leader, and I'm still pushing forward with the agenda of the people, which is to fix the issues. And the vacant property was the major one from when I was doing knocking and walking. I think that anybody got elected to do the same thing that I do should have been present for this board meeting. And it's a shame that people will go around and put a show on for things that doesn't matter. And this what matters to the people. And this is so important. We should have took control of this and took advantage of this while we had the opportunity. Remember this, opportunity knocks one. When opportunities knock, you got to either open the door or get left behind. And I refuse to let Dolton get left behind because of people's unwillingness to make sure we move forward and take care of the business at hand, and that's Dolton residents. Trustee Holmes, do you have anything?
Just hoping and wishing that we can all come together and help the residents of Dolton. I mean, it's going to help, especially with putting it back on the taxes. I mean, I'm quite sure Cook County is not steering us in the wrong direction with what we're trying to do. And we all be on the same page to develop Dolton.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So with that being said, we're going to conclude. I just wanted to show up for the residents because I was here for this special board meeting, and I will give you another plan and have another meeting next week as it relates to our next steps to making sure we put the vacant properties back on the tax roll. I want to thank you residents for always being present and adamant of us doing something about the vacant property. And this is my steps to moving forward. My next steps will be to do different things. I'm not going to mention them right now, but we will mention them next week. And I will use the attorneys to do so. The purpose of this was to save the village money, and we didn't have to pay $5,000 like for an attorney to go out to properties, or they would charge us $5,000 per house to go and get the house and make sure it's clear, meaning the title is clear of back taxes, mechanical liens, things of that nature. So now we have to start all over again. We missed this opportunity, and it will go up for a vote through Cook County. Is it November 8th, Vallado, or was November 5th for the Board of Commissioners?
I believe it's the 8th.
The 8th, okay. So Dolton will not be included in that, correct? Because we didn't vote on the ordinance, correct?
That's correct. No, we need an ordinance adopted for this purpose.
To go out to the vacant property, right?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. So I want to thank everybody for their time. I want to keep it short. just so that everybody saw my vision and the things that I tried to accomplish as it relates to the vacant property. And then for the last time, all I'm saying to everybody, y'all gotta bridge the gap somewhere, somehow. We can't keep doing the back and forth, and we have to get on one page. Just as Trustee Holmes stated, we have to learn how to work together and see things out. We can't keep having our emotions or feelings in anything, and it won't work out for the people. I vowed and I've spoken and talked to several different trustees about this meeting, so everyone knew about it. And I've also texted trustees about this meeting. Everyone also received the email about this meeting, so everyone knew. So it's a shame that people won't do what they got elected to do, which is show up to a board meeting and take care of the business at hand, which is to talk about this ordinance. And if anybody chose a different way to go, you could have stood here and said, we don't want to go this route, or whatever you wanted to do, and we should have came up with a plan instead of doing nothing. Nothing has gotten us in the situation we're in now. Of 8 years that I've been on the board, the property's just been vacant. Nothing has happened, nothing has changed. So my goal, my thing is to basically make sure we do something. So I haven't given up. This plan that I had did not go through because the Board of Trustees did not show up for this meeting here, as they should have been. And the last thing I keep forgetting about, the revenue that it would have brought in to the village of Dolton. Number one, I keep saying the tax revenue, and then also we would have got just it back up to par and a beautiful home on the block. Revenue was crucial. As you know, the village is constantly looking to increase the revenue stream, and that would have been one great way to increase it. And who would have thought, or let me rephrase, if you're a parent that lives in town and you had the opportunity to buy a single family home across the street, down the street, on the block for your child, I don't know no parent that would not say yes. Most parents want to see their kid in the same neighborhood that they're in. And I would have obliged to that because I'm a prodigy of that. My mom, my family live in Dolton, and I stayed in Dolton as well. I didn't leave and go to another community like most people do. So my thing was giving back to the community, letting the people buy first. You have to give it back to the people. You give it to the people, then it goes to investors if the people can't afford it or the people did not want that particular property. But my goal is always to give structure, to get home ownership and not constantly renters or investors. I want home ownership, and that's giving you the properties at dirt cheap, so now that you can fix them up and your family can live next door to you or down the street from you. So thank you again. Anybody got anything to say before I close out the meeting? Okay, so thank you guys for your time. I appreciate those that took the time to get on. I'll see you next time.